going on? Back in with another Cold War and Warzone video. As you know, yesterday, Call of Duty hinted at the Haunting event that's coming, I believe, October 19th. They did a little bit of a teaser at the end of the Season 6 trailer. So I want to go over what's coming for that, just in case you're not familiar with it, if you're kind of new to the whole Call of Duty scene, because Warzone brought a lot of new players to Call of Duty. So this is going to recap a lot of things that happened within the last 10 years. And some of it happening the last couple of months, I guess within a year. Because the Haunting event, which it looks like I'll explain what it's turning out to be, started being hinted at, it looked like a few months ago, probably maybe like Season 2, maybe Season 1. Right now we're about to start Season 6 in a week on October 7th. And with that, there's going to be some changes to the Warzone Verdansk map, and then later in closer to Halloween, I think on the 19th, like I said, we're going to get the Haunting event, and we're probably going to maybe get some more changes. So before we go any further, I just want to thank obviously Raven, Treyarch, Call of Duty, Activision, maybe Sledgehammer Games, and all the devs for doing this, because again, this is something that I noticed and pointed out months ago, probably maybe like I said, the game came out probably like in October, so maybe like January or so, maybe even February. They gave a couple hints, and being that this is the final season, that Treyarch is involved and Cold War is involved with Warzone. It looks like this is going to be their grand finale, their big farewell, and they're going to make it like a big bang going out, which is awesome. If everything's correct, like I'm kind of like 99% sure this is where it's going. So I don't want to like showboat too much, celebrate too much, because there's still that really small chance that I could be totally wrong. But I'm going to show you what's coming to Warzone again in Season 6 and for the Haunting event. Hopefully that explained everything, and it's going to go a little bit faster now. I just want to kind of give a quick little recap. So again, a couple months ago, and if you're not familiar with it, this is all going to be involving Black Ops 2 Zombies location, because it is a Halloween theme with zombies. The Haunting of Verdansk last year did really well. A lot of the big Warzone players and streamers and content creators loved the Haunting of Verdansk event, and it brought a lot of zombie players to Warzone and a lot of new players to Warzone altogether. Again, but this looks as, because Treyarch's involved this year, they're the ones leading Warzone. Last year was Infinity Ward. It looks like they're going to bring in their previous Black Ops zombie themes into Warzone. Again, this isn't like a theory, it's just something that they were hinting at a few months ago, and I'm going to show you everything that was hinted. But before I go any further, just look at the background, the glass. This is from the Tranzit Black Ops 2 map, which is a fan favorite. It came out about 2012, so it's been almost 10 years, and we haven't seen anything in the main game with Tranzit since that. There have been some stuff in COD Mobile, and then there were some stuff in Blackout, but as far as like zombie stuff, not really 100% returned yet. So anyways, the glass in the background is for the Bus Depot map, and I'm going to show you how it's going to show that it's coming to Warzone, or some of the aspects of the Black Ops 2 Transit is coming to Warzone. So with the, I guess it was Season 2 Outbreak event, you unlock the pistol, and I was like, hey, the camo on the pistol looked exactly like the glass in, like you saw just now, the Bus Depot bus station in Transit Black Ops 2. And I tweeted it to them like, hey, is that like a hint that something, like, how can Transit come to Warzone? Like, that's kind of like a really different, like, we always thought of Warzone as this kind of like its own thing. To see a clue or an Easter egg that we might actually get Transit or some zombie stuff coming to Warzone was pretty amazing at the time. Again, not necessarily want to focus too much on that, but I am interested in seeing how people are going to react to it, being that there were a lot of doubters and haters when the Easter egg first got solved and I showed it to them. Again, I understand, everybody has their favorite YouTubers, and they want to kind of, they only believe one people. It's kind of like politics, I guess, in a way, or office politics. Not really politics, but just kind of like, um, people have people who they believe and don't want to believe anything else. But anyways, aside from that, again, the camo that you got when you completed the challenges in the Warzone Outbreak event, I think it was like season 2. The camo looked exactly like the glass, or mimicked the glass on Transit Bus Depot. And within Transit, again, Black Ops 2, within the map, you got these sedan posters and billboards that were all spread throughout the map. And it's actually a big map, similar to a Battle Royale map back then. That's what they were kind of trying back then, but console constraint, time constraints, and a couple other things, they kind of scrapped a lot of it. But they did have these sedan posters all over Black Ops 2, Transit, Green Run map, and they had a lot of inspiration for it. Everything back then, most of the stuff back then they were trying, eventually came out in Black Ops for Blackout and in Warzone. So a lot of that big scale stuff they were trying back then, or they're experimenting with it. It's just that Fortnite ultimately beat everyone to the punch, and PUBG and stuff like that. There were back then, I think Call of Duty maybe was a little bit unexperienced with that stuff, but they did have a big, huge map called Transit Green Run back then. And the bus that you saw in the beginning, I'm just going to backtrack. The bus took you around the map, and you rode on the bus, and you had to protect yourself from the zombies. You had to stay inside the bus. You can probably Google a ton of that stuff on YouTube. So if you want to learn more about that, or I'll go back to it towards the end. So within Warzone, another hint besides the pistol camo was the sedan billboards that were spread all over the Warzone Verdansk map, and they're there now. And those were there since Treyarch took over, and it went into like the Warzone Verdansk 84 theme. It wasn't there before, so it wasn't something that was there months ago or years ago. It was there recently when they switched over to Verdansk 84 a few months ago. So that was another Easter egg that they put. Now to the more recent stuff. As you saw in the teaser, blog, and trailer, so the buildings got destroyed. There was a bomb underneath the ground. I think Adler was one that planted some bombs all around Verdansk, and he blew the buildings literally off their foundation. They tipped over. And some of them are actually, if you read the intel, it's actually hanging on upside down inside the crack. There's a big crack running through the map. So some of them actually fell into the and are wedged like upside down into the crack. If you read the intel, they're on their side, so you're gonna have to enter in and probably walk. It's gonna be so strange, but that is actually again what they're taking inspiration from is the Black Ops 2. The first one I mentioned was Transit. The second map was Die Rise. So in the Die Rise map, the same thing. The buildings are all blown apart, knocked over, upside down, right side up, and hanging inside a big crack, or just pretty much floating in the air. So that is what they're gonna mimic. With that is it's just gonna turn into basically a huge Black Ops 2 map, kind of almost like Blackout. Blackout is hands down a fan favorite. People want it back. People even a lot of people are saying that they prefer the Blackout map to the Verdansk map. But to see it kind of have transformed somewhat into zombies and Blackout is going to be a little bit cool. Obviously, different stuff, which we actually didn't get Die Rise and Blackout, so it'd be kind of cool to see different locations and stuff like that. We had a couple transit locations in Blackout, and I probably should have included that, but I just want to stick to, or specifically stick to the new stuff that they're adding. Again, so this is hinted in the intel that we got yesterday in their blog, that the buildings are going to be tipped over, upside down, and stuck inside the crack in the ground, wedged in there within downtown, so it's going to be kind of cool. and it's actually close to the Nakatomi Tower. So that tower even reminded me about Die Rise back then. So for it to be in the same location as that Nakatomi Tower could have been another Easter egg. So again, they're all tipped over and similar to Die Rise. Next thing is the mines in Verdansk are closed, and that obviously is going to be the third final zombies map that we got in Black Ops 2. Was a mining underground town, a western town slash ghost town in Blackout, and that is going to be opening up and I guess reimagining or mimicking in a way. And that's the thing too. That's a whole nother can of worms. Is the numbers event, if you don't know, is supposed to be memories or false memories implanted into people's heads. That might have been what the Blackout map was about. Also, it was one big giant brainwashing event, and so maybe they're implanting the Blackout um, file into Adler or something like that, and that's probably maybe what they wanted to do with Blackout. But so it looks like now, since we have all the same elements that we did previously, that now or maybe Adler got implanted with the Blackout brainwashing program, whatever you want to call it, because the final location is going to be the mining location is going to be turned into Buried, another Black Ops 2 zombies map. Again, hope that'd be really cool if they put zombies in there and they put ghosts in there. That I actually can't wait. I think that's the last thing I have. Okay, so the three locations for the Hard Thing of Verdansk is going to be the mining town, tipped over buildings like Die Rise, and we're probably gonna get a bus. I'm hoping they do a bus, unless the train station is gonna be like the new bus depot, but it's gonna be like train station or bus station. That's one theory. I don't see them going through all this trouble and not having a bus carry you around for dance, maybe in the LTM. You have to survive on the bus. Um, I would hope they would think ahead and do that, but I don't know exactly. Maybe the last thing would probably be the Gulag turning into, and that's maybe why they're bringing it back to the original one. So maybe they even do a separate talk about that. But the Gulag is turning to original one, and they're probably maybe going to turn that into mini Alcatraz location or mini prison. So we're getting all the locations from Black Ops 2, which is Alcatraz prison, um, probably the transit bus, maybe the train station is going to be the bus. Downtown is going to be um, again the Die Rise location. The mining tower is going to be the last one. Of course, my phone never goes off, but as soon as you want to record something, it starts going off. So, I mean, that pretty much sums it up. So, if you want to get a jump start of what's coming or how it's coming or what it's shaping up to be, that should be everything there. Don't see any other Easter eggs. The only thing that sticks out, but that'd be kind of a stretch, is the H could be representing like Black Ops 2. But who knows? I'll see you guys later.